Good evening. అందరూ బాగున్నారా? Keeping well? Right. Please see page number 18. Today my topic is the goal of education in the light of teachings of Swamiji. What Swamiji defined as the goal for education? So we want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. The next page, page number 19. Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs right there and digested all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, you have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. We want that education by which character is formed. That is the primary objective of education. That's the primary objective is you get established in good character. The education that we learn from our schools and colleges should help us to build our character, to shape our personality. Second, it should help us to increase the strength of our mind. Strength of mind is increased. The intellect is expanded. Expansion of the intellect. And finally, it should help us to stand on our own feet. That means it should help us to get good job. Okay? So, but today actually the sole aim of our education is to get a job, livelihood. Yes, but along with livelihood, it should help us. Otherwise, why should you take so much of trouble? 20 years of learning, if it doesn't help you to become a good citizen of the country, if the education that you learn and take from our schools and colleges doesn't transform you into a good human being, great human being, why that much of effort, why that much of time you need to invest? Now, today, if you ask me, who is suffering more in the society, educated or uneducated people? Educated is suffering more. Yes or no? You all, yes, you all agree with me, right? I see the people who are uneducated, illiterate. Very few people are available now. Okay? చదువుకొని వాడు ఎవరు ఉన్నారనేది ఎతకాలి ఇప్పుడు. But there are very few, but they are really joyful. You know, we have 2 or 3 people in our mutt actually. Our kitchen assistant is there. He is only 4th class or 3rd class. Okay? But always joyful. Mind is unconditioned. You can train him the way you like. So open-minded. Once you get education, it's so difficult actually. First, to train the person in any way because he has his own intellect, he has his own individuality, strongly formed individuality. Training an educated person is so difficult. Training of these illiterate people is so easy because they're open-minded. And education actually, that's why most of the Western thinkers and also our Eastern philosophers have said that education should keep a person an open-minded person. You always want to learn. You should not transform you into a conditioned human being. What I know is the ultimate. No. What we know is very little. What we need to know is so much. So you have the open mind. You keep that open mind always, ever ready to learn, ever ready to learn new things. So we all know, like Swamiji said, that education is the panacea for all the ills of the society, for all the problems of the society. మనకి సమాజంలో ఉన్న అన్ని సమస్యలకి మనం చదువుకున్న విద్య ఒక పరిష్కారానిగా ఉపయోగపడాలని ఆశించారు వివేకానంద స్వామిజీ. It should help us solve all the problems of life. But is it really helping us in that direction? If we just look at it, it has created more problems rather, solving the problems, I believe, sometimes. That means somewhere we have gone wrong. Where have we gone wrong? Here. Character. So, I'm very sorry to say this, but India has become one of the most corrupt countries in the world. It's not the illiterate or uneducated people who are indulging or involved in corruption. It is all the educated class. Why? Where have we gone wrong? This character formation has not happened through our education. It's not happening. ఏదో వ్యక్తిత్వ నిర్మాణానికి ఏదైతే మనం చదువుకునే చదువు ఉపయోగపడాలో ఆ వ్యక్తిత్వ నిర్మాణ దిశగా మన చదువులు ఉపయోగపోబట్టి ఆర్థిక వ్యత్యాసాలు ఈ స్థాయిలో పెరిగాయి ఇప్పుడు మన సమాజంలో. And also the corruption. One of the biggest problems of the country, biggest challenges that we are facing as a nation is this corruption. because education has not helped us actually to create an ideal human being and create an ideal citizen of the country. That is the reason actually we are paying a heavy price. It is eating into the vitals of the nation, this corruption actually. There are very few countries who have this level of corruption, okay? And as far as second quote, where Swamiji is saying education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs right there undigested all your life. You look at our schools, the way we are going, very, very unfortunate, okay? What is our education and what is happening there in schools? You just see there is a textbook, there is a syllabus, okay? Whatever the information that is there in the textbook is transferred into the brain of the child. Child is asked to by heart things most of the times, okay? And because that is a set information is there for 365 days, the child thinks that actually he has to learn whatever that is there in the book and everything, he will by heart it and everywhere. And whenever there is an exam, whatever that is there in the book, he has to transfer it into the answer sheet, then he will get some mark and grades and score. Where is the scope for the child to think for himself or herself? You are not actually bringing out the genius of the child. Swamiji says education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. All the genius, all the intelligence, all the knowledge is already within you. And only education that we do in school should help us actually to bring out the genius already latent in you. But is it helping us in that direction? What is preventing us actually from manifesting the inner energy, from manifesting the inner potential, the inner genius that already we have in our being? This cramming the information into the brains of the people. Continuously it is happening. So much so that you are not able to think for yourself. That is happening with educated people. చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి 15-20 సంవత్సరాలు పుస్తకంలో ఉన్నటువంటి సమాచారమే విద్య అనుకుని ఆ సమాచారాన్ని బుర్రలోకి కుక్కి so much of information is dumped into your brain that you don't even know how to process that information. That is creating right there, undigested all your life, Swamiji says. That information you are not digesting it, ingesting it properly. Accumulation of information into the brain is no education. Education should stimulate our thinking. Education should bring out the genius that is already in us, latent in us. అది ఎప్పుడు సాధ్యమవుతుందంటే పిల్లలకి కొన్ని టాస్క్స్ ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళ ప్రశ్నలు వాళ్ళని అడగాలి సమాధానాల కోసం. దెన్ దే స్టార్ట్ థింకింగ్. సో ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ దే ఇవాల్వ్ అది గ్రేట్ హ్యూమన్ బీయింగ్. స్కూల్స్లో అది మర్చిపోయి ఇప్పుడు సిలబస్ పెట్టేశారు. 50 మంది చిల్డ్రన్ నేను ఎట్లా కంట్రోల్ చేయాలంటే ఆల్వేస్ ఐ విల్ యాక్చువల్లీ మేక్ దెమ్ ఆక్యుపై విత్ బై హార్టింగ్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. దట్స్ వెరీ 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 primitive way of doing things, okay? But still actually the great policy makers actually they are not able to see. ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది కాస్త అవేర్నెస్ లేదు, మార్చాలి ఎడ్యుకేషన్ మార్చాలి 70 సంవత్సరాలు, okay? This is not the way we should be educating our child. We are trying to learn from Western examples now. There are so many other countries which do much better than India. Of course our educational rankings లో చూస్తే చాలా లోలో ఉన్నాం. కారణం ఇది. ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది బుర్రలోకి ఒక్కొక్కటమే చదువు అనుకోవడం అతి పెద్ద తప్పు. మనం చేసిన తప్పు గత 50-60 సంవత్సరాలు. ఇంకా తప్పు కంటిన్యూ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు కాస్త అవేర్నెస్ వచ్చి కొంత చైతన్యం వచ్చి మొదలు పెట్టారు, కొంత మార్పు జరుగుతుంది. బట్ స్టిల్ వీఆర్ లాంగ్ వే టు గో. ఎందుకంటే ఆ సిలబస్ తగ్గించి పడేయాలి. అక్కడ ఒక బ్రీఫ్ నోట్ లాగా ఇచ్చేసి మిగతా అంత కంప్యూటర్లో ఉంది, ఇంటర్నెట్లో ఉంది. పుస్తకంలో దానికన్నా 1000 రెట్లు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నీకు ఆన్లైన్లో దొరుకుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు వై షుడ్ ఐ బై హార్ట్ థింగ్స్ దట్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద బుక్? వై షుడ్ ఐ కన్జ్యూమ్ దట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టు దట్ ఎక్స్టెంట్? సో లాంగ్ వే టు గో. In fact, in my opinion, actually, the conventional education is actually, instead of bringing out the natural genius that is there in the child, it's stifling the child. వాళ్ళ ఆలోచన విధానాన్ని ఇంకా వాళ్ళ గురించి వాళ్ళు ఆలోచించుకోవడానికి కూడా శక్తి లేకుండా పోతుంది. అది ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇస్ డిస్ట్రాయింగ్ దట్ inner genius, I feel. And that's my personal opinion. We may have a discussion on that. We can have a debate on that. But more about education, I will tell you in my next prayer meeting also. I will continue with the same topic. Have a nice evening.